Welcome back for another tutorial. In this lesson, we're going to be going through tutorial 9. In this, we're going to learn about creating planes. So we're going to create some custom planes so that we can build off of those. And I'm also going to teach you the copy command as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start on my XY plane. I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm just going to create this base. Looks like it's 3.0 by 2.0, and I believe it has some fillets on it. Looks like those are a 1/4 inch, so we'll add those on there. Oops, 0.25. Let me undo that, redo this. 0.25. Okay. All right. All right, so we're fully constrained. The next thing we need is we need to put some 1/4 inch holes in there as well. So I'm going to snap here, 0.25, and I'm going to show you how to use the copy command here. So we can copy this base point. I want to copy it from the center, and we're just going to toggle this guy around and hit done. Now, you can see they're all named 0.25. It is fully constrained. Even though, oh, look now, I need 6 dimensions. So basically what's happening here is these are not constrained to where they're supposed to be. So we're going to move these. Check that. We're going to coincident these. Undo that. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Alright, now we're fully constrained. Update that, and it looks good. So fully constrained. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit finish. And I'm going to extrude this profile here. And it looks like it's 0.75. So I'll create that. Okay, so I'm not sure what direction they have you go. I could go... Oops, didn't want to go into there. Wanted to go into here. So you could go this direction, and I can build off the top here. I think that's what I'm going to do just for ease. So I'm going to do that. Now, the next thing it has me do is I need to create a plane. I basically, there's no way to create this little extrusion kind of that's sitting on top of this base extrusion. There's no way, there's no plane for me to click on, right? I have to create some kind of custom plane that's angled. It looks like it's 30 degrees. So to create a plane, I have a bunch of ways I can do this. This here, plane manager, this thing, there's a ton of planes that you can create. And they're pretty self-explanatory, actually, if you look at these. But right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to do regular plane. I'm just going to pick the regular plane one. So I could just click on this. And what I want to do is I want to define a plane that I'm going to spin. I'm going to turn it at an angle. So I'm going to rotate this plane. And I'm choosing the XZ plane because that's the dimension that I have. So it's saying it's 30 degrees offset from that horizontal plane. So that's the easiest one for me to do. So I'm going to pick that plane. Now, I need to define, in order to do this, I need to define what axis I want to rotate that around. So, and by the way, I could pick like a line or something like that. You can see right here, I can pick that axis and showing kind of a plane there. But I actually want to do it around the z-axis. So you can see there, it's giving me a preview of a 90 degree. I don't want a 90 degree, I want a 30 degree. And that actually looks pretty good. That looks like that's what I want. Because it's giving me 30 degrees. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit OK. And there's my plane. So let me name this and call this base rec extrusion, and I'm going to call this plane top extrusion plane. Okay, I'm just going to bring this up and make it a little bit bigger. I can stretch that out. All right, just so I can see it. And now I'm going to create that shape on the top of there. So I'm going to go ahead and click my sketch, and I'm going to click on that plane. And as I usually do, I'm going to slice the graphics so I can see it the right way. And it looks like we have an arc, so I'm going to draw that first. It looks like it's a 3/4 inch radius, so we'll do 1.5. And the distance from here to here is 0.75. Oh, notice that is not perpendicular. Okay. I want to also align this. Oops, wrong one. That with my center point. Okay, so over constrain the sketch. So me adding that kind of messed things up. So I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to delete this line, and I'm going to add this constraint first. There we go. And okay, check. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm getting something. There we go. It was snapping to something down here. Yeah, there's something going on there. So I'm going to exaggerate it. When I have trouble like this, I'm just going to exaggerate it to that point. But I didn't snap to any nodes. So now I can just go back and I can make that perpendicular. And I'm also going to make sure that this has a tangential constraint. There we go. So that should be pretty much fully constrained. I'm not sure what I'm missing there. Let's go see if we can. Oh, so I guess there's a line here that doesn't need to be here. So let's add that constraint back in again. I could have dimensioned that line. Tangent to here. Let's put this, oh, no, it's the wrong one. Let's put that in line with that. Alright, so I still need 2 dimensions. Ah, okay. So that is not perpendicular. So we need to make this perpendicular to there. 1 more dimension needed. Probably get that same one again. Apply. Yeah, it's giving me that goofy dimension. I'm just going to go with it. Done. Not exactly sure. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. Alright. Yep, so I'm just going to apply this dimension and just leave it there. That's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright, we're going to trim this. And we need a 3/4 inch hole in there. So I'm going to put that 0.75. And we need some cutouts on either side. And looks like they're 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go 0.5. Oh, wrong point, wrong dimension. 0.25. 0.5. And I could mirror this if I wanted, but I'm just going to draw it. 0.25, 0.25, tab, 0.5. And they're a 1/4 inch from here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and trim these. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Trim. Yeah. Trim that one. Okay. Quarter inch. Check it. Let's see what I'm missing here. Oh, just parallel commands, so that's good. Apply those, done. All right, and let's update that, and that is fully constrained. Okay, so that is our shape. So it looks like I'm extruding that 1 inch, and I'm going to do that symmetrically. So I'm going to go ahead and hit finish, extrude, symmetric. And you can see the profile's not right, so what I'm going to do is click X on the profile. I'm going to go ahead and select a different profile. And so see how it's going down below? Okay, so that's a problem. So I need to connect these. That's what that tells me. So I'm going to go back into that sketch, and I'm just going to slice the graphics again. I'm just going to connect these with a line. Still fully constrained. Good. Finish. And let's extrude that again. Let's go symmetric 1.0. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so as you can see, there is our shape. And I'm going to go into this plane, and I'm going to turn my visibility off. Call this top extrusion. And there we go. All right, so I think that is all for... Oh, no, check that. There's a hole in the top, I believe, isn't there? Let's take a look here for a second. Okay, yeah, so we have a hole in the top. Now, it shows you how to create a plane so that you are going up, I guess, to like the middle of the... Looks like you're taking it up to the middle of the circle in there, middle of this hole. I'm going to show you a different way of creating a plane. It's just a little different way of doing it. Since you've done it this way already, I'll just show you another way. So, if I go to plane, and I'm going to go tangent... Let me see here... Tangent to surface and parallel to plane. So I'm going to pick that one. And I'm going to pick the XY plane. And I'm going to pick the surface. And now it's created a plane exactly tangent to that surface. And that's the plane I'm going to work on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit sketch. Pick that plane. And my hole, of course, is in the center. I believe it is 0.25. Yep, 0.25. Enter. Finish. Going to extrude that. Different direction. It's going to be subtractive. And I'm going to go to next. Maybe not. I'm going to go to there, to the hole. So now no matter how big I make that hole, it's always going to go through. The reason I couldn't do 2 next is because it's all one surface, so it gets confused. Didn't really think it through before I picked it. But yeah, 2, so if I say 2, it's going to go to that surface, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to hit finish. And I am going to name my plane. All right. So there we go. And I'm also going to turn visibility off because you don't want to leave that on. And we are going to save this. and then we're going to create a drawing. Save. This is going to be tutorial 9. Save. Okay. Let's go ahead and create our drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and click up here to create file. I'm going to use my Thaddeus Stevens template. I know that they don't have you use, obviously they have you use just a standard template, but we're going to use Thaddeus Stevens. I'm going to right click on that, edit definition. Oops, not edit definition, my bad. Nope, don't save that. We're going to click on edit sheet, and we're going to change this to a B, I believe. I believe they have you use it a B. Let's double check that quick. It is a B sheet. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to use the B sheet just so it's a little bit bigger, and let's go ahead and place our base. All right, so that looks good. We're going to do a 1-to-1 scale. Move that up here. Honestly, I'm not even sure what scale they have you do it in. Let me just double check that quick. Yeah, the scales are 1-to-1. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got our 1-to-1 scale. Next, we're going to have you do a projected view. Or, sorry, an auxiliary view. So in auxiliary view, we pick which part we want, and then we're going to pick which, basically a line that defines the angle or the view, which angle we're viewing it from. In this case, we're picking this one, and we're dragging it down like so. And that's just so you have a good view of this, so we can dimension this properly. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to dimension this thing. So the other thing it has is a 3D view, or an isometric view. And let me just go and change this thing around to get the right orientation. This one maybe? It's not bad. It's not what I want. That's pretty good. I think maybe it's this one. Nope. How about this one? Nope. That is what we want. Okay. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, go back into it. And let's see here. Is it this one? No. So sometimes this could be a little frustrating. Okay. I'm close. I think it's that corner. There we go. All right. Okay. That's a little better. Let me click on this again, and let's make this a solid model. Okay. So just so you know, these are your controls on whether you have solid hidden lines in there. That's a wireframe with hidden lines. And if you highlight over these, it'll tell you what they are. Hidden line removed, and then this is your shaded. Okay. Next thing it tells you to do is it has you go through adding the dimensions, pulling them from the model. Where is it? Retrieve model annotations. So you can retrieve these. Again, I do not like to retrieve these. I don't care for them. I don't care the way that they're done. So I usually don't use them. So what I'll do is I'll just go in and I'll annotate this myself. 3 inches. Because I can create much nicer. I can go in and edit this for X. And we'll move this down so it's like that. And then we'll dimension this. I accidentally picked a node. When you dimension, you gotta make sure you don't pick a node. For X. Okay. And let's see, what else do we need on there? We need a dimension to... I'm actually going to move this out to the next... Nope. Next snap point. And we're going to dimension from the center of this hole to there. Move this one out to there. And we're going to dimension from the center of this hole. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Center of the hole to there. Alright. So let's move that one out one more. That looks good. Okay, we also need the dimension for this hole. Right click, options, or dimension type, I want a diameter. We need to put the angle from here to here. And you'll notice, see, I clicked a node, that's why it didn't give me an angle. So I have to click here and I have to click a line, make sure I don't get a node there. So this is an example of where it's okay to have this 30 degrees on the drawing. It's not obstructing anything. There's nothing there that's over top of. And to pull it out here would be overkill. I mean, I could move these dimensions over to this side, put these up here, and maybe draw it out. But it's unneeded. This is fine for this one. And you can see I already did these little different. So I have mine down here. They have theirs up there. That's fine. It's no big deal. They're all coming from the same place that they are on their drawing, so it's not a big deal. Let's see here. We also need this one. So this is another example of where it's okay to have this on the drawing. And I'm just going to hit check for that 1 inch. Let's see here. So we need some center points. So let's go ahead and create those. Should drag this one out a little bit. I have mine adjusted so they're really small. Okay. And let's go down to the other drawing here, the other view. So we need a, actually let's add our center lines and stuff first. Okay, that one and that one, that one, that one, that one. And we can just do a center line here. Drag that up. All right. Create our 3/4 inch dimension. For some reason they have two 3/4 inch diameters. I'm not sure why. I think that might be a mistake on the print. I think this is actually supposed to be selected as a 3/4 inch radius. And we're going to select that. I'm going to bring this, okay, so I'm just going to right click, dimension type aligned. It helps just align it so that I don't have to struggle trying to get this thing to align the way that I want it to align. And let me see here, get that. Let me delete that one, replace that. I don't like the way that was. Let me go to dimension type, aligned. Let's see where I want that. I think I like it there a little bit better. And we need a 3/4 inch dimension. Actually, we're going to move this down. And we're going to put that 3/4 inch dimension from here to here. Move that out there. Okay, I think that's everything. Distance from there to there. Oh, we need one more. Dimension type aligned. All right, so you can see we have a little bit of a clutter here, right? So there's a couple things I can do here. Number one, I can make these dimensions smaller, which is what they've done. So I already have this set pretty large. The other thing I could do is I could actually do a detail view of this. So if I go into Styles Editor, and I go to my text, note text, and we can bring that down to 100, save and close, and you can see they get a little smaller. So it might make it a little bit more manageable for us. I could drag this out. So that would be okay. Quite frankly, I would actually rather see something like this if I were drawing this. Not for this tutorial in particular, because you don't know how to do this yet, but I would rather see, if I had a lot of trouble with the dimensions there, I would actually rather see something like this. And then maybe delete that dimension, delete. And I'll probably put another one over there. But so now what I have is a detail view. And get this up here. And I can create an aligned dimension to there. Aligned to there, and I can even create a line to here. Just drag this down. So now you get the idea. It looks a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. This could come in to there, and now it looks a little better. So that's probably the best way to do it if you really want to have a nice clean drawing. Either that, or we could just make the dimensions smaller. So I just didn't go small enough to get what they have on their sheet. They do have a note noting the 1/4 inch fillets. So just to do that, all we need to do is put a text note here and say all 2.5 radius, or R.25. And actually should be all caps. And we want to number that. Okay. Put that right there. I could even drag it down a little further. Okay. Last thing we needed was to fill in our title block. We need a title and a revision and a material. So I'm not sure what our material is here. It doesn't actually tell us a material, does it? No. Well, we're going to make this thing out of, let's make it out of cold rolled steel. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill out my priority or my properties here. And I'm just going to change my name to capitals. Title. Title is going to be actually, title is going to be Sim. What is the Sim 2? I can't remember. All right. Okay. Log in. All right, we're just going to make it TUTORIAL. Capitalize that. 9. And we'll make the revision 0. Our physical, we'll make this steel carbon. Apply and close. Okay, so there we go. That is our finished part. You can see we have all our stuff in there. So, as always, if you have questions, feel free to give me a shout during class, or of course you can come see me during office hours.